So, if you run a traditional store, one with four walls and a front door, you've probably felt the ground shifting under your feet, right? The old rules just don't seem to apply anymore. So, today, we're going to break it all down, the real differences between the world you know and this new digital economy. Think of this as your quick, no nonsense guide to the biggest changes in how we do business. Okay, let's dive in. All right, let's kick things off with a big question, and I really want you to think about this one. Are you just running a store, a place that sells stuff, or are you creating an experience for your customers? Because honestly, in today's world, that difference, it's everything. It's at the very heart of how you need to think to not just survive, but to really thrive.
And this really breaks it all down, doesn't it? On one side, you've got the world we all grew up with, physical products you can touch in a physical store you have to drive to, often paid for with cash. But on the other side, you've got this new digital reality. We're talking about digital services and goods you can get from anywhere with transactions that are totally seamless and cashless. This is the core shift we're going to unpack.
You know, to really get a grip on this, there's no better story to tell than the one about Netflix and Blockbuster. It's not just some boring business case study. It's the perfect parable, a modern fable, really, that shows this massive economic shift in real time. So let's rewind a bit, back to the late 90s. Blockbuster was an absolute giant. I mean, they were the king of home entertainment with stores everywhere. Then this little company called Netflix pops up, just mailing DVDs. But here's the wild part. Blockbuster had a chance to buy Netflix, and they said no. They passed. Just a few years later, Netflix makes the jump to streaming. And, well, we all know how that story ended. That one decision literally changed everything. So what happened? Why did one soar and the other just collapse? Well, think about Blockbuster's whole deal. It was all physical. You had to have a physical DVD from a physical store, and your relationship was purely transactional. And then, of course, you had those late fees. Ugh, we all remember those, right? They basically punished you for being a customer. Netflix just flipped that whole script. It was a digital service you could access from your couch, built on a subscription so they got to know you, and, crucially, no late fees. They weren't just selling movies, they were selling convenience. See, the whole Netflix thing isn't really just about Netflix. It's a story that pulls back the curtain on the fundamental DNA of the digital economy. So what is it? What gives these digital businesses such a powerful advantage? It really comes down to three key things, three pillars that are changing pretty much everything. Okay, so here they are. Think of these as the three main ingredients in the secret sauce of any digital business. First, using data to make really smart decisions. Second, tapping into the fact that we're all connected all the time. And third, automating tasks to be way more efficient. Let's break each one down. All right, first up, data. You hear this a lot, but it's true. In the digital world, data is pretty much the new gold. Every time you click, watch something, or buy something online, you're creating information. Digital companies are brilliant at collecting and analyzing all of it to figure out exactly what you want, sometimes even before you do. It's how Netflix just knows what movie you're going to want to watch next. And it's not just theory. This stuff really, really works. Just look at Nike. These started using data from their members, like tracking a workout and then suggesting the right gear. And boom, their digital sales jumped by a whopping 23%. I mean, that's not just a little bump, that's a massive leap in sales. And it's all because they use data to understand their customers on a whole new level. Okay, pillar number 2, hyperconnectivity. This sounds like a complicated word, but it's actually super simple. It just means we're all connected all the time through this huge web of devices, our phones, watches, you name it. So what does that mean for you? It means your store isn't just a building anymore. It's right there in your customer's pocket 24/7, and that has completely changed what people expect when it comes to convenience. And that brings us to our third and final pillar, automation. This is all about using technology to handle tasks automatically. We're talking about everything from, those little chatbots that pop up on a website to answer your questions right away, to super complex AI that can predict sales trends. It saves businesses a ton of time and money, and honestly, when it's done well, it makes for a much smoother, faster experience for customers. Okay, so what does this all actually mean for you, running your store day in and day out? Getting your head around these three pillars is step one. But now, let's get practical and look at the new landscape they've created. A world full of new opportunities, but also some serious new challenges. Let's start with the good stuff, the opportunities. First off, you're no longer limited to just your neighborhood. The whole world is your potential customer base now. You can get these incredible insights into what people actually want, not just what you think they want. You can streamline your business with automation, and you can even create totally new services that just wouldn't have been possible 30 years ago. But of course, it's not all sunshine and roses. That's the flip side, right? You're not just up against the shop on the next block anymore. You're competing with massive global companies. And if you're collecting all that valuable customer data, you better believe you're responsible for protecting it from some pretty scary cyber threats. And this whole thing about privacy and trust, it's not just some optional nice to have. It is absolutely everything. And this is the big one, isn't it? The question that probably keeps a lot of you up at night. Look, you're probably not going to beat a global giant on price. You just can't. So where do you win? You win on experience. You win by building a community. You win with things that can't be automated or shipped in a box. Think of that local bookstore that hosts events, or the coffee shop that knows your name. That's your edge. And speaking of trust, man, it is your most valuable asset, and the stakes for losing it are incredibly high. An Adobe report found that if a customer loses trust in your brand, over half of them, 55%, will just never, ever come back. That's not a temporary slump. That's a customer you've lost for good. In this digital age, being transparent and protecting people's data isn't just a legal thing, it's a survival thing. So, where do we go from here? Now, look, the point of all this isn't to scare you or say it's all doom and gloom. Not at all. It's a prompt. It's about getting you to think strategically about your business, your customers, and exactly where you fit in this new, super connected world. It's time to ask, what's your next move? Because at the end of the day, this isn't some far-off trend we're talking about. It's not coming soon. It's already here. The digital economy has arrived. So the real question, the one you have to ask yourself is your business keeping up? Is it ready?